Welcome friends. Today I am going to start a video on MCQ for the exam NET and SET. In the time of interregnum, Charles I was executed or beheaded. And what is the time of that execution? The answer is 30th January in 1649. And what is the date of the arrival of his son Charles II on the throne? The answer is 29th May 1660. Then the restoration period began. Charles II returned from France. Next, prose writer Jeremy Taylor is known as what? The answer is Shakespeare of the Divine. Shakespeare of the Divine. Who wrote The Life of John Donne? The answer is Isaac Walton. Next, Benjamin Westcott was a Cambridge Platonist. Tell me the name of our other Platonists who were in Cambridge. The answer is Henry Moore, John Smith, Ralph Codworth, Nathaniel Calverwell. These are the Cambridge Platonists. They believed in the blend or combination of Christian faith with scientific reason. They were prose writers mainly. Oliver Cromwell liked them very much. Next, Thomas Hobbes criticized the absolutism. He was influenced by René Descartes, a 16th century French philosopher, who said, Cogito ergo sum. That means, I think, therefore I am. My existence is in my thought. Discourse is the existence. One's existence depends on one's language, one's discourse, one's speech, one's thought. Descartes is called the father of modern Western philosophy. He is the supporter of divine right of the king. Next, Thomas Filmer wrote Treatise on the Origin of Government. Treatise on the Origin of Government. And English philosopher John Locke wrote two treatises of government. John Locke's book was published in 1689. John Locke gave the idea of tabula rasa. Margaret Cavendish was a woman writer. She was the first woman who was allowed to the Royal Society of London. He was a member in 1667. Royal Society was established in which year? The answer is 1661, like this. Next, David Dyce's comments on John Milton. And what is that comment? The answer is the lonely and dedicated figure in the 17th century English literature. Next, I am telling you quotation. I thought it best to be traveling for my amusement abroad while my fellow citizens are fighting for liberty at home. This quotation is written by whom? The answer is John Milton. Areopagitica was published in which year? The answer is 1645. By whom it was written? The answer is John Milton. In it, John Milton says, he who kills a good book kills reason itself, kills the image of God as it were in the eye. Milton published History of Britain in 1670. He published Treatise on Educational Reform in 1644. John Milton wrote of Christian doctrine. He published it in 1825. It is Milton's own interpretation of Christianity. He wrote a Horatian ode upon Cromwell's return from Ireland, published in 1650. Paradise Lost was published in 1667, and he revised this Paradise Lost and republished in 1674. Paradise Regained came in between in 1671. In Paradise Regained, we find Devil's temptation of Jesus Christ. His Samson Agonistes, published in 1671. The meaning of Agonistes is champion. Samson Agonistes means Samson the champion. It is an element of divine revenge. Death is the triumph of all. And redemption. The last line of Samson Agonistes is, and calm of mind, all passion spent. Matthew Arnold commented on Milton. And what is that comment? The answer is, master of grand style. Milton is the pioneer of English heroic verse without rhyme. Hudson remarked about Milton, and he said, in the presence of one whose soul was like a star and dwelled apart of his measure, he remains our greatest master. The essay, Did Women Have a Renaissance?, was published in 1977. It is written by whom? The answer is John Kelly Gadol. Next, Mary Sidney or Mary Herbert was the sister of Philip Sidney. She was married to Herbert family. Name of her one son is William Herbert, the third Earl of Pembroke. We know he was the patron of William Shakespeare. This Mary Sidney or Mary Herbert wrote a book. Title of the book is Antonius. She translated Petrarch's poems, Petrarch's Triumph of Death. He also had done the translation of the Book of Psalms. She was the Countess of Pembroke. Next, Anne Askew was the first woman who demanded a divorce. She wrote the Examinations. In 1546, she was counted as Protestant martyr. She was counted as Protestant martyr for her protective attitude. Next, who is the first professional women poet in England? The answer is Isabel Whitney. She wrote poems like Will and Testament. Next, what is the earliest feminist work in British literature? Slave Du Rex. It was published in 1611 and written by Amelia Lenore. What is the first English play written by women? The answer is The Tragedy of Miriam, the Fair Queen of Jewry. It was published in 1613, written by Elizabeth Cary. Next, what is the first English prose romance by a woman? The answer is The Countess of Montgomery, published in 1621. The full title is The Countess of Montgomery Urania, published in 1621. This Lady Mary Worth also wrote a sonnet sequence, and the name of the sonnet sequence is Pamphylia to Amphilanthus. Thank you. Hope to see you in the next video.